NBA Hall of Famer, NBA champion, Kevin Garnett. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am so good. There is almost no one that has more connection to a city and to an NBA team than you do with the Timberwolves. So when I saw the Timberwolves go in, sweep the Phoenix Suns, everybody was counting them out, go up 2-0 on the defending champs, put the hurt on them. I said, I need to know what Kevin Garnett has to think about this.
Well, when I saw them sweep the Phoenix Suns, I was like, whoa. I thought that series, especially because Phoenix had beaten them, I think, 4 times that year. And going into it, I thought, yeah, the Wolves had a lot to prove. And sweeping the Phoenix Suns was like the first wow for everybody. I didn't see that coming. And then to beat the defending champs, on the road, first 2 games, and the second game very convincingly without your so-called best, defensive player, said a lot. But then I also knew that, if the champs are the champs, if they have any fight in them, and if they got the MVP, and if you think you're that guy, then yeah, I didn't see this series being over by far. I knew that they would make the right adjustments. They got good coaching, good players. I knew that they would, make these adjustments, and here we are.
In terms of Ant, we know that he's got the clutch gene. We know that he's an elite scorer. We know that he can do so much on the floor. But as someone who also was the best player on the floor at any given time for his teams, but also elevated his teammates, what do you see in Ant that he's doing to give Cat a renaissance and to give Rudy Gobert a renaissance, winning his Defensive Player of the Year again?
Well, when you playing the champs, if I'm being honest, when we used to play the Laker teams and we used to play some of the better teams in the league, the lead your conference, you have to go in there with a willingness of, you respect the opponent, but up to a point. I'm sorry, we're trying to win here, and you gotta be that leader that pushes through the line. Everybody kind of puts you in this box and think that you're supposed to be within this box. What I love about Anthony Edwards is he's being very adamant about who he is and how he's coming. He's letting the Denver Nuggets know that he is not intimidated. He's letting them know that the Minnesota Timberwolves are also a presence. And when you are a team making your rounds and trying to put your flag in the ground and gain some respect from the league, you have to go at it like how he's going at it. Anthony Edwards is a closer. You have to have a guy in the fourth quarter that can put buckets together, that can put scores together, that thinks outside the box, and I think he's doing a great job of leading this team. I think they're playing great on both ends of the ball with energy, they're sharing the ball. I think if Cat can have a better game 5 and some better games in these next 3 games that they got to play, I think that the Timberwolves come out on top, and I think he gives them a better advantage. I think the difference clearly has been him in these times when they won and when they lost. Karl Anthony Towns has one of them games to put the Timberwolves over the top. But yeah, you need a guy like Ant Edwards when you're trying to gain respect in this league like this.
Yeah, and he's certainly giving Cat a lot of confidence. He instills that in him. He instills that love and respect for Rudy as well. Now, over in the East, KG, the Celtics have been basically crowned as the Eastern Conference Championship, team all year. They've been leading in terms of the shortest odds to win the whole title. But for whatever reason, I think there's a lot of reluctance to believe in the Celtics because we know what they've done in the past, right? They've gone iso ball. Maybe they don't take punches well. Sometimes Tatum doesn't answer the bell. And so there's a little bit of like hesitancy to say that they can win the title. Do you think that's fair to call the Celtics a little soft? Do you think it's fair to criticize Tatum for his quote-unquote lack of clutch gene?
I think people are just going off of what has happened in the past, and Boston's in the positions. First off, they've created the positions to where they are today. They worked very hard to get not only the best record in the league, but to establish a dominance and be consistent with that dominance. They're by no means soft at all. I think they play both ends of the. I think they play both ends of the ball very well. I think they share the ball as better as any team in the league. And I think we've all been prone to say, hey, when your team is down, give it to your best player and let them bring it back. Well, Tatum and Brown may be their best players, but I can't say that sometimes they're always the best player in rhythm or they have it. You know, you got other guys on that team that can actually fill it up too. So a lot of times, I think at least when you have that type of talent, it's about finding your niche. You know, if nights where you see Jay Brown and White have it going down, I'm sure Holiday taps into playing more defense. You know, you go do different things. So I think our league is so prone to see the best player go and hit shots and bring his team back. You know, we see Shea doing it. We see Luka and Kyrie doing it. It's only right to throw them in there. But yeah, this by no means makes them softer or makes them a little more timid. You got to remember they're the best team for a reason, and they've been consistent all year with that. So I don't see it changing anytime soon. And I think as they go deeper, I think you'll see more clutch plays from Jason Tatum. But you got to remember they're a deep team, and with deep teams, anybody can answer the call on any night.
So say it is Minnesota versus Boston. Who do you think is the tougher, more resilient team? You know we were going there. You know that was where this was headed.
It's all good. It's all good. I can handle it. It's all good. So this is how I answer that question. If Minnesota, if Minnesota and if the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics are fortunate to get to the finals, I look at it like this. Obviously, Minnesota doesn't have the experience that a young Boston team has. They've been to the finals. They've been to countless conference finals. They've been there at a young age too. You know, they've been built as solid as a young group as you can think of. You know, they played Steph Curry in the finals. They've been there. So with coming into a series between the two, you got to think that Boston has the more experience. You would think that they are a little more settled. They have the deeper team. And you can't even say that because Minnesota has a deep team also.
Physical.
Saying all that, Ed Edwards is outside the box. He doesn't believe any of the traditional stuff that really made up series back in the days of none of that. The new precedent is today. And how did you perform today? And he has such a surge on his presence that, man, he puts so much pressure on your offense and defense that, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota was able to, win that series just because he was the most dominant or he was the most
Dog.
the bigger presence. Yeah, just a bigger dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think what we all took from this Phoenix is that he was obviously the alpha dog, and he's been alphaing, these series like that until Jamal Murray, until I think Joker stepped up and actually had to, set some balance in the series. He was just out alphaing all of these series. But I think if those two young teams get into it, I think that this goes 7. I think it's going to be colossal, and I think new stars are going to be born from that.
You're listening to BetMGM Tonight. I'm Trysta Krick talking with BetMGM Ambassador and Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett. Last question, the bigger question actually about this series is not just who you think's going to win, but obviously you've got your heart in two places. You will never be not a Timberwolf. That's what we, experience with you. But you have told Glenn Taylor, do not retire my jersey. I'm not about that life with you. And then you're the most beloved, one of the most beloved Celtics. Your jersey is retired there. So who do you personally root for if they match up in the finals?
I root for both equally.
You can't do that.
I can, and you can't tell me I can't. And that goes for anybody else who says I can't. I just told you I can. And I am. And that's what I'm going to do. Because I'm going to be honest with everybody on here and everybody in here. If Minnesota wins, I can't use French on here. So if the Minnesota Timberwolves win the NBA championship, I'm going to be just as joyful and joyous and happy for that city, knowing, the whole journey of everything. I'm going to be super joyous. If the Boston Celtics win their 18th championship, I'm going to be overjoyous and oh my God, I can't believe it. And I'm same. And if any of those guys call me from Jay Brown to Tatum, I'm picking the lineup. To Edwards, to Towns, to whoever. I'm picking the lineup. My love for both sides is as equal as it can be. This is like your children. You don't get to have one favorite. You know what I'm saying? I love them all. So, I'm just being honest. Like, yeah, I love, and it's like the perfect situation that you can never be in. I've never been in a win-win. So if that's my final, then you know what? It's a win-win. I'm either gonna have a Minnesota ring or I'm gonna have another Celtic championship ring.
Oh
So
man.
I tell you, and that's the real of it. And that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
Papa Garnett saying he has no favorite child. He loves them both, and we love you. Thank you so much for joining us on BetMGM tonight. Thanks, KG. Love your vests.
Love you guys. In a minute.
You love those puffer vests.
Yeah, these are like my signatures. So when
Yeah.
you can't get like jackets and it's like mid-weather, the vest is the next best thing. Yeah. You always see me in my bubbles.
I do.
Okay.
I see.
I don't know if that's a shot. Are you taking shots? Is that like a little,
No, it's not a
okay,
shot.
okay.
No, it's not a shot. I would not
Because you're
to
laughing.
you.
I see you laughing. You're
But that's-
smirking when you say it.
But I like it though. All
I
right.
got sisters, so I know my sisters when she cracking a joke. She kind of, you got the little.
I love this. Welcome to
Hello,
the
good
Chicago
morning.
Fire. They said that you
Right.
just joined the team.
Yes, I just joined the team. I just got my jersey. I'm playing left striker.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mid forward. You know what I'm saying?